going to open up the Q&A box and we'll go through some of the questions we have. So the first question I see is from someone called 00. It says, what are the barriers to of digital entrepreneurship? Like what are, let's say, not the benefits, but some of the disadvantages of being online?
Okay. Thank you, Kalada. So to 00, personally, I've been in the digital industry for roughly 6-7 years, and I would say that there's zero barrier to be on. There's zero entry level. Like it's almost nothing because most of the information that you need are already on the internet. And what I always tell people is that on the internet, you would see tons of information. And I always advise that you get a coach or you get, a specific masterclass classes that helps you to be able to, skill your entrepreneurship as a digital entrepreneur, or to be able to, grow in the specific areas that you need to grow. Most people just want to learn everything, which is great for beginners, but if you've chosen to go in a particular route or, get a level of expertise, I would always advise that you get mentors or get, experts who has been down that road who can work side by side with you. So I would say there's almost no barrier. Maybe only that there are a lot of people doing it, and even at that, it's great to start and then scale up to the clouds where there's no one doing most of the things like data science or artificial intelligence and many of them. But there is massive access, and just get people that you need to get you the type of results and get you to the skill level of growth that you need, is what I would say. All good.
Perfect. Yeah. Next question is from Hajara Uthman. Hajara says, if one is just starting out, how long should the test days be? So like part of the growth process, if you're testing out a strategy, how long should you test it out for before you know if it works or not?
Yeah. All right. So for Hajara, it's a very dicey question. It can be as little as 2 weeks. It can be as long as 5 years, to be honest. But worst case, let's just say 2 years or say 12 months. Because the thing about growth is that, growth is minute. Real growth is not all the way, like quickly. It's not fast. It's very minute. You want to take one step, you want to take another step, you want to take one step, you want to take another step up until when you've achieved that. You already know that you've gone to a level of growth, and then you want to begin to optimize and systematically ensure that you stay on this level of growth. So the test can be for as little as 2 weeks, can be as long as 1 year. It depends on what you're testing. I always say there's something called A/B testing in the digital transformation world, which means that you can test 2 things at a time to actually see which works better, so that you can continue to scale on it. However, there can be seasonal changes, which means that maybe next year, the same thing that was working the previous year might not work again. So the test can be as little as 2 weeks or 1 year, or more than the test that goes as far as 10 years, to be honest. Especially most startups are actually, based on experimentation, which means they can run for 10 years and all of that. So yeah, that's what I would say to that question.
Great. So the next one is from Lola. So in the case study, you talked about Jamia, which is an online product e-commerce business. But Lola specifically asking how do you use the growth engineering process for a service-based business? So if you don't necessarily have a product, but it's more of a service, how would you do that?
Yeah, that's a good question, Lola. Again, like I said, for instance, I run a service-based business. And the way it works is that, okay, so it's a service and a product-based business, but it's more of service, and that fuels the product in itself. And the case study can be what I'm doing at the moment by, sending emails to everybody who are already on our database to see those who are interested in the different services that we are offering. So those are the things that you can do. So those are like, if you have different services, you want to be able to reach out to the different audiences that you have, to say, okay, this is what we have going on. Are you interested? Are you not interested? Again, like I said, the 100 days emails that we're doing at the moment is very essential that we do not have conversion, which means that in every of our emails, we say something like, if this is not something that is of interest to you, please unsubscribe. We ensure to say that, which means that if people do not open the email for a period of time, it means that they are not our audience. So those are the things that you need to think about with your product. We're having discounts with the product. You can have discounts with your service product. You can have timing with your service product to say this is when you're gonna run this service for. I have somebody that I know that she runs the services just 3 times in a year. She has a coaching business, and then she only puts her coaching business out 3 times in a year, which means that people are eager to be a part of it. And she only takes 100 people the world. It's in hundreds of thousands of dollars, sometimes thousands of dollars. And then, it's a service-based business. She teaches, and then she opens it up just 3 times in a year. So those are the things you need to consider, like, how great is my product? Who needs my product? How do I need to reach to them? Remember your growth, cycle. Remember your growth toolkit. Understanding the product, understanding your operations, and how you need to market it is what I would say. Yeah, that's it, Lola.
Awesome. So we have time for 2 more questions. The first one is from Grace. Grace said, what do you think about indicating the price of your product? Is it advisable? For some additional context, sometimes people don't list the price of their product when they market it on social media because they believe the price might scare off some customers. So Grace is basically asking, should I put it there or shouldn't I?
Okay. So Grace, honestly, this is a debate that is forever. It never ends. I mean, I remember like 5 years ago we were having this debate, and now it's like 5 years after we're still having this debate, and I'm just like, okay. So here's the thing: you need to understand your target audience. You need to understand your customers. Now, your customers. Now, I've consulted for a startup a company that sells products. Now, there are juries. Now, you can see those same juries that goes as low as 10,000. When I say 10,000, I mean in Naira, because I'm in Nigeria, for 10,000, for 20,000, for even say 1,000. And then this particular company do not put prices on their own platform because they're super sure of their product. And the minute that they put an influencer to wear that product, but when I started working, consulting for them, I did not necessarily understand their prices because they didn't put prices up until when they started, customers started making inquiries in their DM. And I saw that some of their jewelries go as high as ₦1 million. I mean, this was 2017. Yeah, 2016, 2017. It goes as high as ₦1 million. So you need to understand your product. You need to understand those that need your product, because there are people who are very bougie, which not in a bad way to say, I would never be caught wearing something that is cheap. So if that works for you, your most of your customers, most of your target audience, if your product is very high end, doesn't necessarily care if you put the price in it or not. Some do actually care, but most of them don't care. If I want it, if I really, 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 really want it, I will come into your DM and ask you. So the good thing is that, again, I spoke about good conversions and bad conversions. Putting your price and for people to see and still coming to ask you is bad conversions. Yeah, if your product is very high end and you want good conversion, it's okay for customers to come and ask you, because then the people that are serious and people that really want to buy. So that would be my answer to that question.
Perfect. So last question is from someone called Tutu. It says, how do you successfully follow up without spamming customers?
That's funny. As a business owner, you have to follow up. You have to follow up. Persistence is the name of the game. Yeah, like it's sad to be seen as spamming, to be honest. However, at the beginning, you have to be able to let people know what you offer and what you are all about. When you do it to a certain level and people already know and trust you, trust me, you will begin to get so much sales that it will be like, where has all of this sales been? So if you need to spam, do not spam. I will not use the word spam because it's connoted as like a negative word. I would say do it strategically. You can do it, say, once a day, twice in a day. No, just do once a day, maybe 3 times in a week or 5 times in a week. Again, like I said, I'm doing daily email for the next 100 days. My team and I are doing daily emails for 100 days. We're all in your face, whether you like it or not. However, we are not being lazy about it to say we are sending the same message over and over again. We're doing this, we're having the same objective, sending the same message out, but in different contexts. So if you miss the one of, oh, are you the oversabi your office? You're getting the one of, what's your personality type and how is it helping you at work? So either ways, I am talking to the same audience, but with different tones, with different, content and different messages. So do not necessarily spam, but be in your customer's face. That's what I'll say to that.